And Zenobia, taking on from there, when you said, you communicate with the subconscious mind, you're telling your mind and you manifest things. I just want to understand, simple question I had. It's a little confusion that I need to solve on my end. You're communicating with the subconscious mind, and subconscious mind and the universe is giving you what it's manifesting what you want, right? But at that point, when you're talking to the subconscious mind or the unconscious mind, what goes on in that mind behind? How does it work?
The mind is like a sponge. Whatever you feed it, it's going to pull. You can change in NLP, we call it changing your state also. It's called a swish pattern, which my eldest son, when I trained under Terry Ann, he also joined the class for 20 days. Okay. My teacher, Arfeen Khan, had taught us. Okay. And it was very funny. He learned only one thing called swish, which is such a powerful technique that half the fights in the universe and divorces would go down if only people understood swish. So what happened was, one day my son came home late. Today he's 30. That time he was 18. And I was really ready to fire him. And the next morning, and I didn't fire him. Next morning I hear him telling his friend, "Pata hai, maine mom pe NLP kiya." He's telling his friend. I told her, "What a beautiful nightie you wore. Mom, you're looking so good. Good night." I gave her a hug. She forgot to fire me. That is called switch. Changing the person's mind state where it is to where it shouldn't be. And in his business, my son uses it. The moment there's an argument or fight, completely, he said, I call for a coffee, I change the state, I talk about something irrelevant. You should all try it. When a husband-wife fights, for those 5 minutes, stop, drink a glass of water, go into rooms and swish your mind away from that thought. And swish is such a wonderful NLP pattern, which both my son and me use all these years.
That's such a lovely tip, Zenobia. Whoever's listening to us, guys, please use this.
It's a very important tip to use, especially if you're married. Of course, you have to use this with your kids also. And in all the relationships, kids are using this. So obviously, there is a part. So, Zenobia said that, this is one thing which I want to ask Umesh, this particular NLP module or this particular thing, if it is so powerful, like, it can change the world, it can change the continent. Why I'm putting this question? Because, right now so much is happening around the world, be it pandemic, be it the economic crisis, be it the wait for vaccination, be it, there's so much happening around. Like, so is our unconscious mind together so powerful that it can change the world?
Okay.
You understood
think about
my
this.
question, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
So the unconscious mind, in one sense, please understand, your mind as a whole is an energy transmutation machine.
Yes.
It turns energy from one thing into another.
Yes.
Now, there's a lot of technical info in that, so let's get out of that and stick to something that we speak in day-to-day life, okay? So it just converts your thoughts into reality, to put it simply, right? So the more you are feeding it a lot of negativity in terms of fear, worry, anxiety, so on and so forth, the more and more it starts getting you to do actions which are going to make that real for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you think about earlier, there were so many earlier pandemics also in this world. This is not the first pandemic to come. Compared to that, right now, if you look at it, the world is actually suffering far more because right now the spread of information is far more.
Yes.
And everybody, right from news to Facebook to WhatsApp to Insta, everybody is constantly harping on the negative stuff.
Correct.
Yes.
So can NLP help? Wonderfully. I recently got a WhatsApp from one of my past participants saying that he had got infected with corona, the COVID virus. And within one day, he was already feeling amazing. Now, technically, the infection would still take time to leave him.
Right.
What he was feeling made him forget all the physical problems and he could easily start doing his work. Of course, from the confines of his quarantine itself. But just in one day, by using NLP techniques, he started feeling amazing. So he said, though I still have to stay within quarantine, I'm not feeling sick at all. I'm feeling very healthy right now. Now that's the power of NLP. Because what a lot of people also feel is it's all bogus. How can you make such claims? So the claims are more about your mental state than anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the current scenario, will NLP help? Massively. Everyone. Just that, learn it and use it. Then it will help. Does that answer your question, Anupam?
Yes.
So you're
Understood.
saying, Umesh, it's easy to influence the unconscious mind or the conscious mind with NLP techniques, with like Zenobia said, the power of manifestations, with shifting your energy, with using swish words, etc. So is it very difficult to influence the unconscious mind or the subconscious mind, Zenobia, or with just shifting your energy, you can change everything around?
I'll tell you, when you are watching TV, a movie, you are being influenced. You do not know how much YouTube, Instagram, all this is influencing you. Be very careful. If you're thinking of ordering a pizza, you'll be surprised. All the pizzas will start coming on Facebook. If you put in one chat, okay, where do I get this
Pizza.
Actually, you are hardly thinking yourself.
Yes.
Everything is being sponged. You are basically the sum total of the 5 people who influence in your life. So check those 5 people who are in your circle of excellence and who are meeting you or who have an impact. And if they are negative, please throw them out restlessly, completely from your mind. They are having a rent-free place without rent in your mind. Throw them out and double the rent. Don't allow negative souls into your life. This is one thing. Because you are going to, no matter how strong you are, the subconscious mind is going to start sponging that. So be very, very careful of the friends you keep, of the movies you eat, of the food you eat. The 5 foods that you eat is going to be your health. You got it? So you have to be so careful. Everything in my house, newspapers don't come. My son just watches TV headlines. If I come in the room, he'll put it off. I don't allow a negative influence. And once in a while, we enjoy movies, Walt Disney, cartoons, everything. Be very careful of what you are watching and what your kids are watching. Our next generation is going to be exactly what they watch. You have to be so careful to, virtually you have to cuddle the subconscious mind and take care of it. You have to nurture it, you have to love it, feed it, good thoughts, good words, good deeds, and be an example. I'm a trainer for schools, colleges, TEDx, and I always tell them, the children learn from visual. In NLP, we have visual, auditory, and kinesthetic, which is touch.
Right.
And the visual is so important. I had a person, I was in a car outside my son's school, and the little 7-year-old child took his pencil. I was just watching, put his feet up on the front seat, sitting back, and said, "Daddy, open the window. I want to blow out."
Oh my
And
God.
the father slapped the child. I think the father needs to be slapped because he's doing this every day. That poor child has only sponged what is. The little 6-7-year-old has only visually doing exactly what he sees as right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your audio is also very important. Visual these are the 3 main connects in. If you can understand these 3, your life will be a song. The audio, whether the individual is an audio person and loves to listen,
Right.
or he's visual and likes his house very nice, wife very nice. Most visual people are very, they love to wear the best shirt, the best clothes. And kinesthetic is those that love the touch. These are 3 important parts of NLP.
So, Zenobia, how do you know whether the person is a visual learner, a kinesthetic learner, or an audio learner? Audio,
Okay,
how do you identify that?
that takes a little time, but an example would be that a gentleman had come to me years ago. Okay, I'm doing everything. I'm giving my wife, my mother-in-law doesn't trouble her. I'm giving her jewelry. I do everything, but she doesn't. She's just not happy. She is a visual audio person. She only wants to know when the car is left and the husband has reached the office. She'll call, have you reached? And if he doesn't pick up, the whole day her mind will think, where is he gone? Where is he gone? Where is he gone? The simple thing the man did, he would pick up however busy. If he was 2 hours late, main yahan ja raha hu, and that ended their problem. So that is one example. It slowly comes off audio. And another wife who said, I'm a good wife. This was a very sad case. She was such a wonderful lady, but this man never took her anywhere. Millionaire. He would go to a wedding, but she would follow in the second car. The reason being, when I took them both, he was visual. So she used to put red mehndi in her hair, big stomach, wore a sari under her navel, didn't keep the house the way he wanted it. The moment she changed, and I remember we helped her in the grooming. She had hair right up to her ankles, and he didn't even recognize her when she came from the parlor. She started doing treatment of losing weight, everything. And finally, one day she calls me, you know what? He's taking me after 40 years of marriage for a movie.
How awesome is that?
And I was so happy. I said, wow, he's going. Now he's understood that he has to give time to his wife. And that idiotic man calls me and says, Zenobia, aap bhi chalo. I mean, it had gone into his head. Okay, it is so important for her to have her husband take her out for the first time without being ashamed of, her.
Yeah.
So these are the things in NLP, and Umesh will tell you how beautiful this journey is.
Yes.
And everyone should go to Umesh and learn from ANLP, because it's so fabulous. Your child is not complete till at least he learns NLP. It will be so good for his emotional intelligence.
Wow, this conversation, I tell you, with the fans, they are commenting a lot, and I have to take few questions from them. So I think, Umesh, if you can answer a few of the questions, which I'll just take from the comments which we are receiving. So Ashwini is asking that what are the dreams interpretation theories today? Because we have been talking. So how does it relate to the unconscious mind? And then there is one more question. So first you can answer this, and then the next question.
Let's take one question at a time. That will be a lot easier.
Yeah.
So let's first understand technically what are dreams, and then we look at how to deal with dream interpretation and so on.
Yeah.
So technically what is called as REM, rapid eye movement sleep. So when you're sleeping, you don't sleep the same throughout the night. There are phases of sleep. So sometimes you're sleeping absolutely like a log without any movement. Sometimes there is a phase where your eyes actually move. So if you've seen anybody who's sleeping, you'll see sometimes their eyes start moving. That's called rapid eye movement sleep. Now that's the point of time wherein your brain, your neurological system as a whole, is actually processing a lot of information that it has gathered through the day. We teach a lot more about this during our NLP course, and there's too much to explain in a short answer right now. So while this processing is going on is when you actually get dreams. You see dreams. That's because all that information your brain is cross-checking, referencing with everything, and organizing that information within the huge, massive storehouse, which is terabytes, billions of terabytes of information called your neck-top computer, right?
The mind, yes.
So that's when you see dreams. So that's what technically dreams are. And therefore, if you look at dream interpretation, it's a very, very complex methodology. So if you just look at a dream and randomly take a book and read from it how to interpret your dreams, most of the times there are chances that your interpretations are going to go wrong. Because your unconscious is checking against everything in your life which is connected. For example, if you think about a dream, typically, how does a dream go? It goes very erratically, very illogically.
Yeah.
For example, let's say I was thinking about eating a red apple. While I'm scrunching on the apple, suddenly I'm riding a motorbike. While I'm riding a motorbike, suddenly I see a beautiful air hostess, and I'm wondering, when did I come from from a bike to a plane? So on and so forth. Now here the link really, while it appears that there is no link between eating an apple and riding a motorbike and seeing an air hostess, the link would possibly be that my mind was comparing that information with an apple which is red to a motorcycle which I was riding which was red to the air hostess who was wearing a red uniform.
Yeah.
So it's a very complex link which is hidden in the background, and which a lot of people, so to really interpret dreams, it's very important to go into depth and understand what is the common thread there.
Okay.
Then it's easy to interpret dreams. For that, you have to do a lot of work with the person whose dreams you are kind of, making sense of. So if you're a common person, just stay away from interpreting dreams. If you want to turn that into your expertise, study a lot. It requires a lot of study, a lot of effort to start interpreting dreams. Does that answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah,
I hope
so now I
Ashwini
know.
has got her answer.
Ashwini, I hope she's got her answer. I've got my answer as well. There are times when I wake up in the morning just thinking, what was I dreaming about? And there was no logic and there was no relevance. There was no connection to anything that I dreamt about. So now I know what goes behind. A little bit, maybe not too much, but yes, that kind of, wants me to learn more, and I'm sure going to read a little more about that to understand how that works.
So there is one more question. One more question I'll take from one of our viewers. Ankit is asking, which was actually my question also. I was about to ask that can we completely be in control of our unconscious mind? When I say completely, do we become like an elevated soul, or is it like it's a human thing that we can control entirely the unconscious mind? That's what Ankit is also asking.
Umesh, you answer this.
Okay.
You're an expert at it.
Thank you, Zenobia. So I'll answer this the Munna Bhai way first, and then go into the technical part of it. Okay.
Yes.
So is it possible to control your unconscious mind? भाई बोले तो जब बुद्धा बनेगा ना तब possible है.
Yes.
To be in complete control of your unconscious is next to impossible, for the simple reason a lot of that which is happening out there is beyond your awareness. So how do you control that which you are not even aware of?
Right.
Can you start influencing your unconscious mind and starting and get better and better at it, at influencing it? Absolutely possible, and possible to a layman also. So all the tools and techniques that Zenobia was sharing from the beginning till now, amazing ways to start influencing your unconscious mind. So can you control it? Buddha banega na tabhi.
So basically you're saying, Umesh, the unconscious mind, I mean, we know that we don't know. That's what the unconscious mind is, right? If I can put it like that. Something that we know that we don't know. Or we don't know that we don't know, right? So taking from there, Umesh, one simple question I'd like to understand. You both are NLP experts. I'd like to ask both of you. How long does it take to reprogram or change or reprogram the unconscious or the subconscious mind? How long does it take?
Like, is there a timeline at all?
Every day is a new challenge. It's like rubbing your slate. We do jharu katka of our house and we bathe. Same way you have to cleanse your thoughts. If you have anger hidden, write letters of anger. It's such a powerful thing for cancer patients especially. Write down everything that you don't want in your life. Burn it up. Throw it away immediately. But after that, instantly replace it with something true and good and beautiful. And it's a regular journey. As you're doing something, a negative person comes, move it out. It's a regular cleansing of doing a little jharu of your mind regularly. And 21 days, any habit that you form, I'm a numerologist, 21 days if you do it, it'll start becoming a habit. whether you want to give up smoking or start smoking. Both is dangerous. 49 days the habit sets in. So be very careful of that.